So I think you see a lot of paint here. This is my Japanese shopping haul when I went to Japan. And I bought a lot of Holbein. And you wonder why I bought a lot of Holbein? Because it's 10 times cheaper there. Yeah, and then I went to some really cool stores like this place called Pigment Tokyo. I bought a hake brush from there and another brush. Let's see. I think it's this one's from there too, Pigment Tokyo. Brushes in Japan are actually rather expensive, like these bamboo brushes. There's so many that I wanted, and I'm like, I'm not spending that kind of money. So I just got pretty inexpensive ones. Because some of the ones I really liked, I'm like, no. And I got a lot of Holbein tape, because I just started finally using Holbein tape, and it's really great to use my sketchbook if I want to like block it off and not have it ripped up my paper. When I use my magic tape, when I'm in my studio, it's easy to rip up because it's just a single sheet taped on cardboard. But for my sketchbook, I was like reluctant, and this Holbein tape is really good. So I got a bunch of that. I got a bigger size too for my sketchbook. At the Pigment Tokyo, they have a bunch of pigments. Look at these. I only bought a few because there was like a wall of pigments, like thousands of colors. And you take the pigment, and whatever medium you mix it with can turn into watercolor, acrylic, or oil. And so watercolor, you mix it with gum arabic, and it will turn into watercolor. So I can play with a couple of these and mix them up and make my own pigment. And it's kind of cool, fun to play with. I mean, I don't kind of a novelty in my opinion. I'd rather just play with paints. And then someone, excuse me, I posted this on Instagram, asked me if I bought any new colors. And I think I bought maybe a couple of new colors. Mineral Violet is a new one. And let me see if I can find another one. Let's see. I already have Vermilion, I think I bought. I don't know if I bought too many like newer colors because I was just kind of stocking up on the colors that I normally use. There's a Marine Blue I bought. And a Permanent Violet. And let's see. I know I got a different brown. Oh, I have Van Dyke Brown, which I haven't used in a while. I used to use that. And Sepia. So I did buy some new colors, but I bought a lot of the colors. I kept on trying to get ultramarine blue, and I got indigo. I think I had indigo a while ago, and I couldn't find it. The ultramarine blue deep, I was trying to find everywhere. It was very hard to get. Like, they were sold out kind of everywhere. I got a few of the tubes. So obviously it's popular in Japan as well. I got some cobalt blue there. A lot of this is just typical stuff that you see that I use. Pyro Rubin, burnt sienna, yellow ochre. I did buy another gold. And then some wonderful turquoise. And basically all the colors I use here. I could have bought some gouache. I didn't even think about that. I got this new one too, Scarlet Lake. I did buy a new red just to play with it. But yeah, I could have bought all the colors, I guess. I could have, but I didn't. I just feel like you don't want to go too crazy, right? So that's my haul. And I got some like Holbein watercolor postcard paper. Because it's kind of fun to play with that. So yeah, I'm going to play with some of these colors with you today. And it was fun just to like go into their stores. But yes, anything that's not Japanese obviously was more expensive, but the Japanese paint was really cheap. Kitake, I think, is not made in Japan. I'm not sure. They weren't that cheap. The Holbein one was really cheap. And I was kind of bummed out. I was going to have a tour at the factory, but the day they were going to give me the tour, I had to leave for Kanazawa, and so I couldn't go on it, and I was kind of bummed out. I did buy one watercolor, white watercolor. I'm trying to think if I see anything else in here that's new. Vermilion. Nope, not many news, but a lot of the stuff that I normally use. Okay, let's get into playing with some of this stuff. So I have this postcard, like I said, from Holbein paper. This is where the stamp would go. I guess it would have like the address kind of, or zip code here. And I'm assuming that you paint on the side. I'm hoping that's correct. I have a picture that I found on Unsplash of these lovely irises. I saw some irises blooming in certain areas when I was there. Of course, the cherry blossom, which is why I was there. And a If you're a Patreon member, you get that tutorial that I did when I was in Japan of the wonderful pagoda and Kyoto. Kind of cool. If you want to join Patreon, click the link in the description box and you'll see the Japanese pagoda that we did the tutorial on. So I'll try this brush first. And just simple shapes it looks like for these wonderful irises, because we're not going to paint them perfectly here. This is that funky brush. So I've got this permanent violet color from Holbein. It's somewhat similar. If I wanted to add a little ultramarine blue deep, I could do that. So I'm thinking the shapes, basically like little V's here, right? A little bluer color for the iris. I might add a little ultramarine blue deep to this color. Little V on that one, a couple little lines like that connecting. And you'll see some other ones kind of look like this. Little V here, and then whoop, whoop. Yeah, they don't look like really difficult. You don't need like a trace for this. Just making those little shapes. So pushing down and then kind of going like that. I'm going to add a little bit more ultramarine blue deep to that purple. See, that's why I like to make my purples. Although if you want to just take it from the tube, go like that too. So look, little V here, and then just little lines coming like that. Look at that. Not too difficult, right? Push down like that. And then some of the leaves are like where you push down like this and like this. Yeah, just little purple marks like this. Oh, the iris look like a bunch of butterflies, don't they? Kind of fun. We're just playing here. This brush is great. It looks like a liner brush. And I'd mix up some lovely green color using cadmium yellow deep and some Prussian blue. So yes, I bought a lot of the colors that I normally use because, well, why not, right? So it's just saved me a lot of money. I can't really see the color mix over here on the right. So that's that like bright light green. And I'm going to try and play with this brush. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's a little stiff. I gotta get it loosened up. Get rid of that glue, whatever is making it stay stiff. Come on. Trying to activate it. I don't know. I think maybe the bottom stays stiff. And this is funky. Maybe they use it for calligraphy or something. I don't know what they use it for. But I know I'm just going to play with it. Just going to push down. Get these nice skinny little lines. And when you travel and you're like, ugh, you're tired when you come back, but you want to paint something, just don't make yourself crazy. Just paint something simple like little flowers or shapes or colors. Just mix some colors on the paper. Some abstract kind of situation. Look at that. Just little cute little irises. And you see all the leaves kind of going this way and that way and some purple in between. So this is a great little brush for playing. Woo! Try and get some bamboo brushes to play with. Like I said, I would have bought some more brushes, but I'm like, okay, we're gonna get the bank. It was just crazy. I love them all, but I'm like, if I don't know the brush and I spent all that money on the brush, I would have been kind of mad. You see, we just those little lines here and there with the little paintbrush or whatever brush you have. That's kind of a small round, right? And then a nice like liner brush or even kind of like a, what do you call it, brush? My brain is still slowly working. Sorry guys. I don't want to say dagger brush, but I'm going to say something like, I can't remember the name of the brush I'm looking for. I'm sure you'll write in comments what it is. But see how I'm just putting the lines in here. The grasses. It's great for grasses. Gonna get a little bit more yellow in my color. I'll add a bit more blue. Get darker too, because you want some lights and some darks. Just making these skinny little grass lines. Look how sweet. That was really pretty simple. You know, because you see a photograph with all these little details and all these little things in the background, the trees, doesn't mean you have to paint them all. You got to learn to edit in your brain. I know that's what your brain wants, to paint everything you see. I'm going to grab some more Prussian blue in here. So now I got a deeper green. It's like a bluish green. And add some depth with some of that darker color in here. And I just think some of the simplest kind of paintings are the most pretty. You know, like, they don't take much effort. It's like when you're cooking, right? Some of the best dishes are the most simple. Like the best dish I had in Japan, no lie, I mean, it's by accident. The first day, full day we actually were there, because, you know, we flew in, whatever. It's my little story. It was cold and damp, and we were going to see the cherry blossoms along this canal. Actually, after that I finished those lines, I'm going to get some deeper purple color. So basically the purple I use first. I'm just going to go back in here and take this, now that it's kind of dry, and make little teeny darker lines. I'll show you. Just going to go in here, putting in some deeper lines. Okay, the paint doesn't want to cooperate. Come on. Little lines like that. Oh boy. Trying to get the paint to work. Just little lines, deep dark. So yeah, we were cold and I just needed to warm up and I wanted a coffee. And we went to this coffee house. I didn't drink decaffeinated coffee because I can't have caffeine. It makes me spaz and have panic attacks. They didn't have decaf coffee, but it had a soup. I'm like, okay, I'll have this chicken vegetable ginger soup. And it looked like when it came over, like a nothing soup, like a brothy kind of soup with some vegetables. I'm like, okay, where's even the chicken? But as soon as I put that brothy soup in my mouth, I'm like, what is this voodoo magic that I'm drinking and eating? The flavor was unbelievable. So looks can be deceiving. Something so simple can be so amazing. And that's kind of how it was throughout the journey. You know, like the more complicated dishes were like, meh. And the more simpler, same thing in Italy, by the way. So you can put these little dark lines here. The better. And I feel like that's how I like to approach art. I get too complicated, it becomes something I don't enjoy. Look at that. It didn't take much time at all. We have a cute little picture. If you want to get more complicated, you can go in and paint like a full iris. Getting a little bit dark with this. I haven't used the mineral violet, so let's try a little bit of mineral violet. It's just not the same color as the picture. It's more of a mauvey kind of violet. So I don't know if I'll put this in this picture. And I'm going to add some ultramarine blue deep to this permanent purple. There's a little yellow in the center, and I'm put a little bit of yellow in there. But I'm really digging this like brush. I knew I should have got another one of these. But now that I know, I can find a brush similar. Make some great leaves. Woohoo! It's just a little different than a liner brush because it's super pointy, but then you can push down on it. Here's a scrap. I'm going to use a scrap. And see, you play with your brushes when you first get them. You can push down. You can make some like really cool lines. It's kind of like the calligraphy brushes that you can get. See if I wrote hello. Yeah, you can really kind of like, you can go like sideways and really fill in the color. And then you can make nice little lines. So it's fun to play with brushes like, look how skinny those lines are. But then you can push it on the side. So it's a kind of very versatile brush. I might find myself using this a lot. Which I kind of figured it would. Look at that. You gotta play. See? A simple little doodad. And then I'll just go ahead and fill in the center. I haven't used this brush yet. Just seems like a simple, almost like a liner brush with some yellow, but it's a little fatter. So grab my cadmium yellow deep. I'm just going to tap the center of each little flower. Get that yellow center. Pretty simple, right? I think so. You don't have to make things super complicated. I like it, make it simple. I'm just going to go in here and fill this in. And look at that, the field of irises. So when you get new paints and paper, just do something simple like this. A little simple, cute little picture. Doesn't require much effort. And you see how I just did the little V's? It kind of looks like, you know that's an iris. It looks like an iris to me. It doesn't have to look like the most perfect iris. If you want to get a little more detail, you might put some little purple guys down here in the bottom to kind of see peeking through. Little dabs of purple. Just making it more interesting than what we had here. This one is kind of like a real face forwarding one. Put that guy over here. The iris. It's such a pretty flower, and it's like it can, you know, connotates spring, which we love. It's a little bigger, a little smaller, but really kind of simple. I just wanted to show you a simple way to paint them, and also talk about new supplies and show you the new supplies I got. Okay, I hope you loved it, and if you're a Patreon member, you get the additional tutorial, which is the pansies. I go about talking about how to make simple pansies on there. And yeah, click the link in the description box below to join my Patreon. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.